those are cool. Oh my gosh, I think it's hot in there.
Well, we are live, so.
Okay. Do you know Dustin, the redheaded bald guy?
Do I know a redheaded bald guy?
Yeah, his name's Dustin. He's my friend. We come from Woodbrook together. He on the same day he went to South and I went to North, and now we're going to Drink Center.
Yeah, I do know him.
He's like a little hyper stepchild. He's so hyper. He looks like he's got ADD or something. He's nice.
Yeah. So I don't, I used to work at the prison right next door to the Drink Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at LeBlanc.
Oh, cool.
I worked there for 10 years. Well, no, I worked there for 13 years. Then they moved the thing. Then I quit, and then I went out into the world to do stuff. And then I went back over there to be the director, but they had moved the program to the GIST unit.
Oh, yeah?
They have LeBlanc here, and then there's GIST. And then that over there.
I made it just in time.
Center is now. Used to be a.
I'm surprised.
Juvenile.
Okay. Yeah.
What's it look like in there? Is it like
Well,
a bedroom?
I don't know. I've been into the office part of it.
Yeah.
I've never been into the.
Oh, okay.
Where the rooms are and stuff. I've not been in.
I can't wait to see my bedroom and my drawers.
Yeah.
So they wear whites, huh?
I don't know. When they were a prison, they did.
Yeah, but I think they wear whites there too. I drove by them the other day, and yesterday, and it looked like the people over there wearing whites.
I'm cool with wearing
whites. If
whites.
you're looking at the right place, I do know that LeBlanc, there's now a transfer unit. They wear whites there.
Oh, so
you might have been looking. LeBlanc is here, and then across the road over there's a Drink Center.
Oh, across the road. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Across the road. Yeah, they was wearing whites too. Yeah, I know when you're talking about the men's place, they wear whites, and that's right there by the bridge, right? By the overpass.
I wouldn't.
And then a little bit past. I need some scissors.
I would not have thought that the Dream Center would wear whites, because that's the uniform of a
prison. TDC, exactly.
And so Dream Center it's a Christian thing. So
I want to.
I would almost bet they don't, but they might.
I don't know.
Is that for us today? That you are awesome. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Look, we got about to get started. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Just about time.
Did the things
they're right here
about the
got about one more.
There's
about one more minute.
It is somewhere. We'll have to ask Randy. Cause I didn't get started. I didn't go to a meeting.
Alrighty then. We got to get this thing started, folks. Got a lot of stuff on the board. We have a couple of places to go this morning, and we're going to get that done. Very first thing is make sure that you have your sign-in sheets and that they are signed correctly. There's HHSC, which is for you. Come on. Here we are. And then,
Thank you kindly.
And then there's TAIP. So make sure that you sign on the right one and sign them legibly so people can read them. And by people, I mean me, because I have to know who you are so I can get you on the thing. And bring your book. You have your book with you, then you're in the right place and you have the right stuff. And we're going to get started. Our goal for the day, we're still in spirituality. This is Wednesday, so we're halfway through the week, and we're still dealing with spirituality. There's a couple of more things I want us to look at that are good to help us get into a place of spirituality. So what is our goal as a group today? Spirituality, yeah. Learning a little bit more about how to get into spirituality. We did a little bit of that yesterday. We talked about how to do some meditation and how to do some gratitude work. and stuff like that. So that's a good stuff. Now, if you'll notice, most of you have a self-care assessment in front of you. I don't want you to start on the self-care thing. We're going to kind of run over that together and talk about that a little bit. Part of self-care is spirituality. Okay. So if you have your book with you, everybody have a book? Mm-hmm. Look on your book on page 21. Okay. This is 21. Got all of this stuff on it. Today we're Wednesday, so we're halfway through the week on this stuff. So if you look on this, it says because where I am spiritually is tepid. What does the word tepid mean?
Warm, like
yeah, kind of warm,
lukewarm.
Kind of lukewarm. Yeah, I kind of know what that is, but I'm not really going very far with it.
Thank you very much.
So, we're just waiting. I know. We should start 5 or 10 minutes after. We'd like everybody to get in. So, all right, if you have your book, who, I know for a fact there's someone here without a book. So who is that? Who does? You don't have a book? Who is your counselor?
she's looking.
Not anymore. We require her because she didn't get you a book. No, not really. We need to let her know that you need a book.
I did.
Okay, you let her know that already?
Yeah, yes.
All right. So we're going to let you. I was going to let you borrow my extra book, but I gave it to somebody, so I don't have an extra book. But on this one underneath where it says tepid under here, it says you have some exposure to a spiritual life. When I was a kid, we lived in a house right here, and there was a church right there. You know, our backyard butted up to their backyard, but we never went to church over there. We knew that there were people there that went to that church and did weird stuff over there, but we didn't know anything else about it. But we know there was a church.
We're trying to get out of your area.
Yeah, we have to do new seating whenever you do in person, so everybody's kind of confused when it comes to that.
Was that right?
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't
Okay.
be I've only been here for
Yeah, because they won't let us move the tables or nothing.
Yeah.
Because we were
They
going to
won't let
make
us
it
read that.
where it would work better, but they're not.
Yeah, they don't want to do that. No.
But their logo is to change everything. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
We don't want to change the table. We want to change you. We can change your table to take care of themselves. Now here is a really outside the box idea. I don't know. Now look, this just kind of came to me, so I don't know if this would work for you guys or not. But maybe get into the group instead of 5 minutes after group time and try to get ourselves set up so that we can be like this, because we come in maybe 5 minutes early.
And be seated.
Yeah, and get yourself all straightened up before group time starts. So you have some exposure to a spiritual life. And everybody that's turned around the other way, if you want to turn around this way, you might be able to see some of this stuff, because I know my mama had eyes in the back of her head.
I do too.
Yeah, but I'm looking at you guys, and y'all don't have no eyes in the back. I can tell. You ain't got no eyes in the back of your head. You're a good mopping person, but you have no eyes in the back of your head. Right?
Do you need
All right. So although little effort has been made to explore the meaning of a spiritual life or toward adherence to any set of spiritual principles, that means, okay, there's a church, there's spirituality, there's a God, there's a higher power, but I hadn't had much to do with them up to this point. So that's where tepid is. And if has everybody read that part of that in your book?
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Yeah.
All right, so there's a mistake in there. There's a misspelled word in there. What was it?
Is there?
Yes, there is. So what was it?
Is it tepid?
No, it's not tepid.
I know.
Under the tepid.
paragraph. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Adherence?
So y'all just make
Exposure.
no. Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I have taken a look, and the word exposure is not in there.
It's explore.
Explorer's in there, yeah, and it's spelled wrong. But
Yes.
that's the word that's spelled wrong. But
Exactly.
yeah, no, exactly is not in there either.
No. Explore is supposed to be in there twice, but it says exposure.
Right.
Or exposed sour.
All right, so we're going to get started on some more of this stuff, and the sign-in sheets going around. Y'all make sure that you get it all done over at South. Y'all make sure you get yours done over there. I'm going to run by and pick that up here as soon as we get through. Well, yesterday we stopped at gratitude, and that's one of the easiest things that we can do. And I will tell you, we should be grateful right now. We should be practicing gratitude about everything that happens in our life. Somebody yesterday said, "Hey, you know what? I'm just grateful for God waking me up this morning." I am too. You know, that's a place to start with your gratitude. But also, I had breakfast. I had a cup of coffee and a chunk of cheese. That was my breakfast. That's not people. That's not for no. I won't eat those. I'm smart. Y'all need to understand. You see, I'm not smoking, and when you see me not smoking, you say, "Smart." Intelligent. You see me not eating Pop-Tart. You see me especially not smoking and eating a Pop-Tart. So that says that guy is brilliant.
I got two if you want one.
Yeah.
I have 3 if you want one.
I got one in my drawer too.
And people do that all the time. Why do they do that? Why do people look? And this is a really good point for us to get this morning. See, I've had 2 people offer me, well, actually 3 people offer me Pop-Tarts this morning. And the other, almost every day, I'll have somebody offer me a cigarette. Why do people do that? Well, first off, they know I'm not going to take the Pop-Tart. Right? Yes, ma'am?
Especially after yesterday.
This is why they offer it to you, because whenever you eat in front of somebody, you're naturally going to offer them.
She's saying you're naturally going to offer them.
Because it's rude
Because just not being rude and all that. But that's not why people offer you something that's detrimental to your health. Why would somebody do that? They're not being nice. They know that is horrible and terrible. They know I'm a diabetic. If I eat that, I'm going to die. They know that that's terrible, nasty, ugly, stupid stuff to put in my body. But why would they do that?
To be funny.
Misery really does love company. That's why we need to stay away from old people, places, and things. You know, people who are going to smoke, they know it causes cancer, they know it's terrible, and so they offer other people to do that with them. Because when I'm doing something goofy, it feels better for me to do it with somebody else. And so when we go out and we go back to those old people, places, and things, they're using drugs. They know that those drugs are destroying their lives, and they are going to offer you to use them with them. Yes, ma'am.
So because I keep notes every day. Is this over spirituality or self-care today?
Spirituality.
Over spirituality or what? Self-care. It's both, because self-care is part of spirituality. But I'm going to quit now until y'all get ready.
By myself.
No, we're ready.
Well, I see some people who are, and then I see some people who, I don't know what you were doing. You know, we're getting our meals together. We're getting our, I don't know what we're doing. I'm certain that the gentlemen at South have all of their stuff. They usually have it right next to them, and they're waiting with bated breath. So I can see you guys. You're waiting with bated breath. But ladies, y'all not even here presently. You're off in somewhere other goofy land, and so goofy land. So bring it back, because it may be some of this might help. Some of this might be important. It could be. All right. And this is about, we're going to do a little deal on self-care here pretty quickly. But self-care, can you see how self-care merges with spirituality?
Yes.
Yeah. Because, as I am trying to get to a place of spirituality, part of that is how I take care of myself. Right? That also morphs over into health care. Because as I'm self-caring, I'm taking care of myself, which means what? We'll talk about it here in a minute. I watch what I eat. I watch how much I sleep. I watch exercise. I look at all of those things for self-care, right? So here's one of the other things I want to share with you real quickly. We're not going to stay in this a whole long time. And then don't fill out your self-care stuff. We're going to get that started in a minute. Everybody's going to need a pen or a pencil or something that you can, or a little needle where you can poke a little finger and get some blood and a stick and whatever would work. How about devotional activities? Do we do any devotional activities? I've talked to a lot of folks here and in South, and a whole bunch of folks go to church, right?
Yeah.
Why do we go to church? Say it again.
To find God.
To find God. He's not just at church, by the way. Sometimes he ain't at church. So why do you go to church? To get closer to God.
Fellowship.
To have fellowship with other people. That's part of our self-care, is to have fellowship with other people, right? And to have some devotional activities. You know, we have praise and worship at our church, and what that's all about. I've had people tell me, well, I don't like that kind of music. Okay. It's not about you liking it. It's about you allowing it to lead you into the throne room, right? Okay. It's about getting you to a place where you are in a devotional state. So we're trying to help us move to a more spiritual level. So devotionals are y'all listen, because we were going to church, and that's where I do most of my devotionals. But I do, I have some woods on my land. I can walk through those woods and do some, and just be in contact with my higher power, and that's a good place to do some devotionals. I also have an office at home, and I can go sit and just read the Bible and get into a devotional state there and all kinds of stuff like that. So it does not always have to be at church, and it's not always the same for different people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, getting into a place where I'm doing a devotional, my devotional may not look like yours at all. So look, devotions are any practice that helps connect the individual to a higher power or a feeling of transcendence. What does transcendence mean?
Peace.
What is it?
Peace, loving, love.
Peace, loving. Transcending means to remove myself from whatever's going on around me and getting myself to a different level. Yes, I can, because it's right here. Transcendence. Transcendence. That means I'm getting outside of myself. Right? So sometimes do we need to get outside of ourselves? I think that we do. So a lot of the times when, I yelled at you guys about all of the confusion and stuff going on. What was that about? What was all of the confusion and stuff that was this morning? What was that about?
Seating.
Eating?
Seating, like the seating and sitting.
Yeah, all the seating and
the
the getting the stuff, the goodies passed out and all. What's that about?
Distraction.
Well, it is a distraction, but that's not what it's about. It's about us looking inward. It's about us looking at our own needs for the next 10 minutes. My own needs for the next half an hour. My own needs. I'm looking at, I'm going to have that snack, or I'm not going to stay awake. I'm going to have that snack, or I'm not going to be able to make this group. And so I want to make sure my friends stay awake too, because they need the group. So I want to make sure they stay awake too. So I'm going to make sure they've got some poison that they can put in their body. So while we're doing all of this stuff, and I want to make sure that they're in the seat where they need to be, and I want to hear my own voice. So I'm going to make sure that happens. All of that is a personal looking at me. So when I get into a place of devotion, what happens?
You're looking at the outside.
Yeah, I transcend. I get outside of all that personal confusion, all that personal mess, all that what I'm going to eat today, what I'm going to do today, why am I going to do to this, why can't I watch television instead of listen to him? All of these guys get past all of those things and look at a higher person, a higher entity, a higher experience. So sometimes that's a little bit hard. It's kind of hard to meditate, kind of hard to Um, to what? Get to a place of transcendence when you're hungry, when you're reading, doing your devotion in the middle of the group. That's a little. That's a no. That's fine. You just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So for those who are religious, it could mean regularly going to a place of worship. If you're religious, and I will tell you, I go to a place of worship at least twice a week. Today I'm going to be teaching out of the book of Acts tonight, the 3rd chapter of Acts, going to finish that thing up, but I want you to know I'm not religious. I do some religious things, but religion kills, and I'm not a religious person. I do happen to have a relationship with Jesus. That's different than religion, because religion is a set of rules and regulations. So, but a lot of religious people who are involved in those rules and regulations and stuff, they go to the church to get their time of what? Spirituality, their time of devotion when they go to that. So look, reading passages from a holy book. Yeah, see, she's got a book there that, it's not a holy book. It's a book somebody wrote, and she's having a good time reading it right in the middle of the group. And there's a holy bag of potato chips being handed out over here. That's a place of devotional to a lot of people. Repeating mantras. What's a mantra?
It's like kind of like a personal affirmation or like a personal...
Oh, that's a good way to say that, a personal affirmation. Yeah, something that you have come up with, or something that your religion has come up with, or something that your group has come up with that you say over and over and over again. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
To a lot of people it is. I've not found it that helpful, but to a lot of people that's a helpful thing to get you into your place of devotion. So, singing sacred songs. I love singing praise and worship music. Some of the old hymns and stuff like that. Or praying to a higher power. I do a lot of praying. The Bible tells us to pray without ceasing. I pray every day, usually all through the day. For others, devotional may consist of activities traditionally seen as secular. And what does the word secular mean? Not churchy. Stuff that's just worldly. There's a lot of stuff that people do that they get to a place of devotional, but it's not something that we normally see in church, or something like listening to music, not listening to praise and worship, but listening just whatever type of music you like. Sometimes people can get to a place of being spiritual just listening to some music that they really care for. Spending time outside somewhere in the woods or somewhere. We've got some woody kind of things out here we can look at. Or just looking at a piece of art. Something that really gets you to a place where you can appreciate something. Remember, we talked about if there's something that is significant to you or sacred to you, that's a place of spirituality. If that's you have a painting that we have some good, nice paintings over in the main office over there and everything, and you look at those things, some of those things will take you to a place of spirituality. They just will. So, while some devotional activities require that you travel to a specific place, most can be done in the comfort of your own home or in your neighborhood. You don't have to go to church to find God. You don't have to go to out in the woods to find God. Where is God?
In your heart. You.
She said He's in your heart.
He's in you.
He's in you. Okay. So the Bible tells us that God is as close as your fingers and your toes, and that the Holy Spirit lives within you. So all of those things are right. So He's just right there. So God can be with you anywhere you are, right? So this should speak to us about being able to have a devotional. You can have a devotional as you're driving down the road. When I'm driving down the road, and I told y'all this yesterday, but this morning I noticed it again. We had a great big old fire in the sky. God was bringing the sun up, and as the sun came up, it reflected off of the clouds, and they're just huge. It's just all red. It looked like fire in the sky. So I was also able to see this Big Dipper this morning when I got out, walked out, and looked up. There's the Big Dipper. It's really neat. Devotional practices offer a multitude of benefits. There's a lot of stuff that's beneficial if we go to a place where we have our devotions. Here's the thing. One of the things that we need, and we've accepted the fact that we need a higher power to help us in our pursuit of our recovery.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal. My higher power doesn't have to be your higher power. My higher power is the best, but if you have a different higher power than I do, will that work for you?
Yes.
In getting into recovery, it will. In getting into recovery, it's going to do that. So, you might have a different one than I do, but there's some things that having these devotionals are going to do for us. It's going to get us in contact with our higher power, right? And that's a good thing, right? How often do you need to be in contact with your higher power?
Every day.
Every day.
Every minute.
Maybe even every hour of every day. Here's the deal. If we really, truly have a higher power, how can you separate yourself from your higher power? You can't. You can't. If your higher power is really and truly and really in your life and is your real, true, actual, factual higher power, you cannot separate yourself from that. That higher power is going to be a part of your life. Now, doing devotionals, here's how it's going to help you. Prayer elicits the body's relaxation response. Your body has a response that when you do certain things, your mind tells your body to relax. Is it important to relax?
Yes.
Yes. Why is it important to relax? It gets us out of a stress thing. We all have stress every day, and as the stress goes up, it causes you to have issues and all of that kind of mess. And so when we relax, this is why it's really important to do the correct, the right, and the proper self-care. If you're not doing self-care, you're not relaxing well. And if you're not relaxing well, the stress monster will stress bomb your butt and will get you. And stress will cause what? Stress that's turned into distress is going to cause strokes, heart attacks, aneurysms, what?
Loss of hair.
Loss of hair, all of those kind of things, cause you to have bad breath, all of that stuff. So this prayer, when you're praying, it elicits the relaxation response. I pray for about probably 30, 45 minutes on the way in every morning. Then I'm going to pray on the way home. It calms the body and the mind while invoking feelings of gratitude, hope, and comfort. When I'm talking to my God in the morning, I'm always telling him how much I'm grateful for what he's done. My God saved my life more than one. And other than my life, just saving my life, physically actually saved my life, he has saved my immortal spirit. And he has saved me, and I can look down through my time when something happened, when at that point in time, I didn't appreciate it at all because I wanted this to happen, but this happened, and I wasn't appreciative at all. But now down through the years, I am, because I can look back and I can see if that happened, then it would probably have messed up my whole life. It would have destroyed my whole life. But my higher power did something about it. And you look back down there and you can actually see your higher power at work. So when I'm praying, I thank him for all of that stuff. I thank him that I'm a confident individual. I'm confident in what I do. I thank him that I can persevere. Is perseverance necessary?
Yes.
Needed?
Yeah.
In a situation like, teaching, doing what I do, and perseverance is because you get frustrated real quick. To some people, I'm not going to point anybody out, I'm not going to say anything about anybody. Some people figure something out to do that keeps them completely off the, and if they're not completely off, then the other person that they keep doing the stuff to, they're off. They're getting them out, and then everybody in the whole group watching her sneaking. That is so. It causes us to have a relaxation response. It calms the body down, but it also calms the mind down while invoking these feelings of gratitude, hope, and comfort. That's really good. Look, and here's the deal. This is something we need to get hold of. Regularly attending a religious services can extend and increase your lifespan. I need to go to church, y'all. I tell you. So, isn't that an interesting thing? There's a whole 1,000 different reasons to go to church. Church is a wonderful place to go, and I'll tell you that there's good people there, and there's good music there, and there's good food there, and there's everything good about going to church. But knowing that it will increase your lifespan, that's one more good outreach tool. Yep. So we need to. That is an amazing thing to me. Wait, what?
You're saying that going to church?
4 times while you were getting redressed over there. We went through that 4 times, and you're just not going to say what? What do you say? Yeah, it will increase how long you live if you just the act of going to church. Because one of the things, if you don't go to church, you're not paying your tithe in church, and the preacher going to find you and do you off.
Oh my God.
Well, the rest of the people will do better. Well, the rest of the people will do it better. But it will increase your lifespan. How come going to church would increase your lifespan?
Because it keeps you from doing stupid stuff.
Keeps you active.
And you're happy.
Can I just know?
Did you have something?
Find your calm.
You find a calm place.
That's what I meant. You're having a calm
stress.
Your mind's in a good place.
Yeah, you get to a good place. You get to and when if you go now, look, I have been in church where there were some mean people and some bad stuff happened, and that didn't do what it was supposed to do. But if you go to a church where everybody's in one accord and it's happening the way it's supposed to happen, then it can bring that level of stress down. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is like saying that there's a Santa Claus. Like you. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm honestly saying, you can't just tell us that, going to church and we got babies that were born and never got to experience church, but it didn't increase their lifespan. You see what I'm saying? Because everything happens for a reason. Yeah, I think help you, but.
Well, the point.
A plane could crash into the church, and the people you never know what happens in life. Is what I'm saying. You can't just put that
as an overall whole, though.
Well, the point of the study is you listen to the study. The study is saying that normally for people who want it to happen for them. If you don't want to, nobody. I don't. Here's the deal. I'm not going to tell you. I don't care if you believe in God or not. That's your business. I do care. I want everybody to be at the best shape they can be. But however, what we're saying is if you go into the church services or if you go into any type of services like that and you get to a place where you can sit down and calm yourself down and you can relax, then it helps you to lower the stress level in your life. And if you lower the stress level in your life, what happens?
You live longer.
You're more than likely to live longer. Now, she said you don't know what's happening. So if the preacher comes to church that morning with a gun and shoots you, then it may not increase your lifespan. Right?
Yeah, true that.
But if you're in there and you're just getting that stress level down, just getting the stress level down, that's what we're looking at doing. And that's health. That's healthy for you, and that will increase your lifespan. Now, if you get that same type of relaxation and calmness by going to the beach, will that increase your lifespan?
Yes, sir.
Yes, of course. It's doing the exact same thing. It doesn't. That's not trying to force a religion upon you. That's weird. Okay. And you can, and look, if you are really diametrically opposed to Chuck E. Cheese's. Anybody here ever been to Chuck E. Cheese?
Yes.
If you're really, I'm kind of diametrically opposed to Chuck E. I don't like Chuck E. Cheese. They started selling booze at Chuck E. Cheese's, and I'm thinking, okay, when you started selling booze at Chuck E. Cheese's, you lost my business. But if you go to Chuck E. Cheese's and you're diametrically opposed to Chuck E. Cheese's, is your stress level going to come down? No. So if you go to a church and you are diametrically opposed to what the church is teaching, that's not going to help your stress level, is it? Of course not. Of course not. It's more than likely going to send your stress level up. So, you have to be in a place where you can get yourself going out into nature, something like that. That can also do the same thing. Spending time outside, seeing if we moving right past that, spending time outside. Did you have something, ma'am?
No.
No? Okay. Spending time outside has several physical and mental benefits, including lowering stress levels. And that's one of the things we've been really kind of hitting on here is lowering the stress level. So if we can do that, when we lower those stress levels, guess what else it does? It reduces inflammation. It improves our concentration. It boosts our creativity. And it even gives us a stronger immune system.
Yeah.
It will do all that. Now let me say this too. Is that true for everybody? No, there's always an outlier, and I love that term. But what's an outlier?
Doesn't fit the normal.
Somebody that might have fear, or they think more like, there's bugs out there, snakes out there.
Yeah, all of those things. There's always an outlier is something or someone that is outside the norm.
Right.
And when we go and get relaxed and we're feeling good and everything is okay, then our stress level comes down. But there's always those outliers. There's always someone. So that might not work for you. Just like you were saying, it might not work for you. But that's because you're an outlier. So how many outliers would you think might be in this group?
One at least.
Maybe one. Maybe one. Usually none. Usually it's one outlier in 100 to 200,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So, when we say, well, I'm not, okay, you may be, but usually it's in, so there are always outliers. So when we tell you that, hey, this will help you, it may not help you. When we say, look, I teach all the time, if you go back to old people, places, and things, what's the chances of you relapsing? 100%. You're going to relapse. And I tell people that all the time. If you go back to old people, places, and things, you will relapse. You have no chance. But are there outliers?
Yes.
Yeah. There's people who are going to go back to old people, places, and things, and they're going to do fine. They're going to do great. But they're the outliers. And when we look at ourselves as the outliers, we do ourselves damage because 100 to 200,000, there's one in all of those. We're not likely to be that outlier. We're more likely to be that norm, right? We're more likely to be that person that's going to apply to. So if I go to a church that's not having the building burnt down or something like that, it's going to lower my stress level just because of what's going on. Usually if I like we had a lady in here find a bug this morning. She found silverfish.
Yeah.
She was excited. Look how pretty that lady. Look how cute. My wife would have screamed running from the house. She'd have been gotten out of here. Yeah, we ain't doing no bugs. This is Miss Chastity. She come in and be real quiet so she don't disrupt the group. That's so nice of her. I like it. So anyway, whatever we're doing, that can lower our stress level, right?
Yes.
Right? And that's what we're looking for. So we're not going in looking for something that's crazy, but here's the deal. If it lowers my stress level, and stress is a killer, right, then it's going to extend my lifespan. I can live longer. People who are stress-free, people who have low stress in their life, live longer than people who run at 100 miles an hour all the time. Those are usually called A personalities, and they never have enough time. And they usually have what?
Anxiety.
Heart attacks,
Strokes.
strokes, stuff like that. So if you're one of those people and you were born with an A personality, what do? You have to work extra hard to find ways to
Lower your stress.
lower that down, get yourself a little bit calmed down so that you can get some of that stress out of your life. So spending time outside has several of those things. Lowers your stress level, reduces inflammation, improves concentration, boosts creativity, and gives you a stronger immune system. Is that true for everybody?
No.
No, we're back at that.
Outlier.
There's that outlier. There's that person out there that's not true for, but that's more than likely true for me, right? It's more than likely true for you. So what does that mean?
Work on it.
You gotta work on it.
That means I need to get outside every now and then. That means I need to go outside. I need to get outside and I need to look at some stuff outside and I need to be in nature a little bit, right? I need to do some things outside every now and then. My wife and I are going on vacation here in October, and we're going to be outside for 2 weeks. You know that? Love that stuff. That's going to be some good stuff.
I don't think it's considered outside when you're gonna be glamping.
Well, I am going to be glamping, but you have to go outside, to unhook the trailer from the truck.
Okay.
You have to go outside and hook the trailer back up. Every morning, I'm going to go outside my trailer and walk around, walk the dog, watch the dog do things the dog do in the woods. Yeah,
I don't think that's considered being outside for 2
all of
weeks.
that kind of stuff. We go, look, when we get into those places, we go and we walk down the trails. They have trails in every one of those things. Some of them, my wife, y'all know, is not really well mobile, but they have wooden trails, and you can walk down those things and she can carry whatever she needs to carry to walk down those things. So we do get outside more than you would think. We went to Dakota State Park and went to look at the waterfall and all of that kind of stuff, and it's good, yes ma'am.
Did y'all get the mirrors put on the truck yet?
No, she does have the mirrors. She had them painted, and we are waiting. She's going to wait till next month to put them on.
I just had to know if y'all.
Yeah. She is going to put them on, but it's a financial thing. Yeah, they pay me $12 a week. So anyway. Listening to music can decrease stress.
Yes.
Yeah. So, listening to music, again, we want to get that stress level down. That's part of being spiritual, to get that down to where it's supposed to be. So it also it improves our mood, lowers level of anxiety, and increases relaxation. So we need, if you like, do you like listening to music?
Yeah.
My wife listens to music in her truck and in the house, and all of the time, incessantly, she listens to praise and worship music all of the time. When I'm in my car, I'm usually listening to the news.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on, so I'll listen to the news. Every now and then, I have the thing where I punch the button and I'm listening to praise and worship music, but I also can punch a button and listen to all of the good music. Yeah. Like you said, 1960s and 70s when they wrote good music.
Classic rock.
Yeah, that's when good music was going on. So one of the things, all of this is pointed toward getting us to that place of spirituality. Remember, we're not attempting to get to a place of religiosity, right? We're not trying to get religious. We're trying to get spiritual. There is a huge difference. You can find religion in spirituality. You can also find spirituality in religion. But one doesn't morph to the other. They're not the same animal. Right? So we're looking at spirituality. One thing, and I don't teach a lot of yoga, but yoga is one good way, if you do it correctly, to get yourself to a place where you can have some spiritual time with yourself. You can get yourself into that place of spirituality through yoga. So it's, I don't know. So after a while, we're going to all sit on the table. We're going to have to sit on the table.
With our legs crossed.
We're going to that's called the lotus position. and we're all going to have to get on the table and
These legs may not.
that may be problematic for some of us, So look, yoga is a spiritual tradition that began around 5,000 years ago. So they've been doing it for a long time. But the people who began, the people who started this, they're not around still. So they've already suffered from croakification. So yoga is an integral practice in a lot of religions. So they're getting to a place of spirituality and practicing their religion. In Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, all of those folks, they practice the yoga thing. That's why I don't practice it, because I'm not part of that religion. But you can practice yoga without it becoming a religion.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? You can make anything a religion. Did you know that you can make eating biscuits a religion?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really feel like, if you don't eat that biscuit every morning, and if it wasn't horrible, terrible, nasty, and would kill me, I'd eat a McDonald's biscuit with bacon and eggs and cheese every morning. Those things are
Cabbage biscuits on Sunday.
There must be so much junk in that thing that's going to kill 9 people, but boy, it tastes good. It's just like that Pop-Tarts you guys started eating. I tasted one of those Pop-Tarts the other day. They don't taste good.
We were only offering you Pop-Tarts because you kept talking about them yesterday.
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts.
It's when you eat a Pop-Tart, when I eat a Pop-Tart, I can taste the glutamate cinnamon in it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I can taste. Ooh, they got some good glutamate cinnamon in this one. It's yeah. This one was grown on the east side of a hill in California. I can tell. Anyway, yoga is a wonderful thing. It doesn't have to be a religion to you.
Right. Yeah.
So I've had a lot of people when I'm telling them, okay, we're going to do a little. They say, well, no, I'm not doing that. That's a religion. It's not a religion. You can practice yoga without it becoming a religion. You can also eat a McDonald's breakfast biscuit without it becoming a religion, but it can do that. Right. You can get to the place where this is what I do. So you go and you eat 3 of those every day for the rest of your life, which will be about 6, maybe 8 months. If you do that, it can become a religion to you. I have to do this. So that's what religion is, a set of rules and regulations that you have to do to make yourself feel better about yourself. Right? Mm-hmm. So, okay. 99.9% of the things that we do in a what? A organized religion, God never said you had to do that. It never said you had to do all that. But we do it because that's what Grandma did. Grandma did it because she had a bad stomach that day, so she had to leave the sanctuary, and she did this, and everybody now thinks that's what you have to do. So, but none of that. So yoga is a good thing. It's an integral practice on those things. Yoga can be practiced in the absence of any particular religion. This is not a religion. It doesn't have to be a religion. So we can do it without doing that. While it's most often thought of in Western cultures as a mindful practice. Now, y'all remember what mindfulness is? We talked a little bit about it yesterday. What is mindfulness?
To be aware.
To be aware? To be aware of what?
Things around me.
To be aware of my surroundings.
Of the world around you.
To be around the
world around you.
To be mindful of the world around me. To be mindful of this moment.
Yeah.
To be mindful of what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling at this moment. And that's real helpful to us in a lot of different ways. So here's the thing. And it is because it involves stretching, breathing, moving through a series of poses. And those series of poses are called asanas. And as you move from one asana to another asana, they help different muscle areas in your body and help you get to a different place in that. See how quietly she did that? If I hadn't brought your attention to it, you'd never would have known it. She did that.
Oh, we would have known.
It's a part of a greater philosophical system that includes things like this. Some of the things that we're going to be able to do is meditative practices. We're going to be meditating, visualization, exercising. Anybody ever done any visualization?
Yeah.
Anybody have a happy place?
Yeah.
I have a happy place. I have this place where when things are not going the way that I want them to go, and I've been in some meetings, and somebody called, Dr. Garner, what do you think about that? Don't know. I was in Hexham, England. Sorry, I never tell them that. I'm not gonna tell them. But that's my happy place. I love the country, England. I'm going to Scotland here before too long.
Oh, wow.
And
I want to go to
I've been to-
I always want to go there.
been to Scotland. Scotland is great, but I love England. Been to England, been to Scotland. So I'm going to go to Scotland on my 75th birthday, and I'm going to spend a week over there in Scotland.
Wow, that's
But-
a cool birthday.
Yeah, it is going to be. But
I have your luggage. You're gonna take me too.
yes, ma'am. You didn't just everybody jump on. We're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, when things are not going the way, usually when I'm in a meeting, especially here, I will tell you that I am listening. I am rapt. I'm listening to what's going on because things change every day and every minute. So you got to, you have to be cognizant of what's going on, or you'll lose pace. So I don't want to do that. But I do have that place, and that's part of a yoga exercise. Have that visualization place where you can go, what it is that you like. You need to choose a place where you can do it. A lot of times that's going to help with your relapse stuff. When I'm getting to a place where I have a lot of craving, a lot of desires, I sit down for a few minutes, pray just a little bit, and then go to my happy place. In my happy place there in Hexham, England, it's almost at the border, and it's a little market town. It's a little market village, and in Hexham they have a market that every day opens up, and they've got all sorts of it's like a farmer's market.
Yeah.
But in their farmer's market, they have butchered and cleaned rabbits and squirrels and all sorts of things. And you go up there, and they're all laid out for you to inspect, and you can buy it there. And it's just really marvelous. And if you walk down the roads are like that. So if you walk down the hill here, there's one of those big old red telephone booths. And I had an opportunity to call my wife from one of because she didn't go with me. So visualization thing. One of the other things they do is chanting. Now, you remember at the last thing we talked about was mantras. How do mantras and chanting, how are they similar? They're pretty much the same, aren't they? If my mantra is, I'm going to work today, I'm going to work today, I'm going to work, is that kind of like a chant?
Yes.
Yeah, but usually they have a chant that has one or two words, like a Santa Muha. Santa Muha. What does a Santa Muha mean? That means specifically that my Muha has a Sante.
What does that mean?
Oh.
Same things that the horse did on Snow White.
Yeah.
The scene, that's the
I owe, so off to work I go. Yeah.
Well, it was high.
Oh, that was a different one, yeah. So, they also, one of the things that we do, if you're practicing yoga, one of the things you do, and this is probably the most important thing you do in yoga, so anybody leaving will probably never know what that was. So, selfless acts of service. Selfless act. What's a selfless act?
Kindness.
Doing stuff for other people.
And not
Kindness.
expecting anything in return.
Doing something for other people.
Not expecting
Without
nothing in
telling
return.
somebody.
Well, look, without telling people, well, let me tell you, see, I'm doing something this morning for other people. Is this a selfless act?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, I'm getting paid for it.
Yeah,
I get
They
paid
pay
for it.
for it.
Yeah. They pay
Doing
me
something
12,
and not expecting
they
nothing
pay me
in return.
$12 a week to do that.
Yeah, but you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it. Thank you, ma'am. I do. what a selfless act is.
Going and working in a soup kitchen.
Go working in a soup kitchen. That can work, I think, but say it again.
There's nothing tangible or for
Yeah, you don't get anything for it. Do you get anything for working in a soup kitchen?
You don't make any money going to work in a soup kitchen.
No.
You're serving people that are coming into their home with something to eat.
No, yeah, you don't make any money working in a soup kitchen, but guess what you do?
Man, the feeling that comes from it.
Oh, yeah. And also, people get to see you there.
Yeah.
People get to, look, he's working in a soup kitchen. So you can get something from a selfless act if you're doing it for someone else and you're not expecting anything at all in return. So you can get it at one of those places, or you can get, there's a guy on Facebook that goes around if there's anybody's yard that's all messed up. I think that's real great of him. Does he get anything for that?
Yeah.
Of course he does. Of course he does. He's on Facebook saying, look, y'all, look how wonderful, nice, kind, and good I am. Look, I'm going to cut this poor old lady's grass, and I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to take care of all that for her. And of course he does. He is self-serving. There are people that are calling him from all over the world to try to get him to come and do something in their yard, and they're paying him big bucks to do that. So it looks good, and it is good. I'm glad that he's out there cutting those. But that's self-serving. That's not self-led. He got 10,000 followers. That's self-serving.
Well, how about an old lady on the side of the road with a flat tire? You get out, change tires, takes off, just because of changing the people driving by, they see me. Is that not selfless?
It is selfish, and if it were me, I'll guarantee you, if you were on the side of the road and your tire was flat, you're an old woman sitting on the side of the road, your tire was flat, I would come by there and tell you, hey, you call a wrecker.
All right, come on now. So, okay, what's
and that's totally, look, that's
Isn't
totally,
that selfless?
that's totally selfish.
Sure
it is. Sure it is. If you get out, change the tire for somebody who needs their tire changed or something like that, and you don't expect anything out of it. I've done that before, and I had the lady try to give me some money and stuff like that. And I don't want to.
So that is selfless.
It is.
Yes, selfless.
That's selfless.
Yeah.
Sure. So, selfless acts of service. And you do that. Then there are some moral rules discouraging acts like stealing. Mm-hmm. If you're practicing yoga, you're going to be against larceny. Is that helpful to you? Sure it is. It's also helpful to everybody else. So harming oneself and others, just don't do that. We don't harm ourselves. We don't harm other people.
Moral turpitude.
Yes. And we don't lie. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Now look, if I'm not harming other people and I'm not harming myself and I'm not lying to other people and I'm not stealing, what does that do?
It boosts your self-esteem.
It boosts your self-esteem. It also brings that stress level down. Because look, there's a time in my life when I heard a siren, I ducked. Mm-hmm. Right? Found a place that's I just want to get out of sight for a minute. I ain't scared. They ain't after me, but I don't do that anymore. But, okay, they're after somebody, but they're not after me. We've had the police drive up in the facility where I'm working, okay, and I'm not nervous at all. I said,
that's a good feeling.
And it is. And I've walked outside and said, hey, officer. I had an officer stop me the other day, and I'm driving down IH-10. I'm doing about 75 miles an hour, and he pulled me over. And he got out, and he walked back there, and he said, you know why I stopped you? I said, yeah. Yes. The speed limit's 55, and I was going 75. So, yeah, I know why you stopped me. He said, well, you were speeding? I said, yeah. I knew I was speeding because, like I said, I'm doing 75 and the speed limit's 55, and I said to myself, that's fast. You're going faster than what the sign said. And so, yes, sir, I do know. I said, I just zoned out. I'm headed home after work, and I'm just going home, and I didn't even think about it. He said, well, think about it. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm going to write you a warning, but you think about it. Oh.
Okay, well, next time
it was neat. Try honesty. Yeah, it might work. So we don't lie. See, and I'm not I don't practice yoga, but as a Christian, I'm just, I'm a liar. I am a liar, but I try my best. I'm working real hard at, not being a liar. But somebody asks you something like, this bun on my head look good. You don't want to make them feel bad, so you say,
Yeah.
why, sure. It looks good on you. I mean, but I
Just
wouldn't.
don't leave the house.
I wouldn't wear it, and I wouldn't recommend it for like anybody else in the world. But look, so you lie a little bit.
Just ask them if it feels like they look good.
Yeah,
You think it looks good?
That's what you ask them.
You think it
Do you
looks
think
good?
it looks good?
All
They're
right.
not wearing it.
We're giving
Watch
you
your
tricks
card
of the
out
trade
there.
here.
Well, thank you, ma'am. That's good. So we don't want to harm ourselves, and we don't want to harm other people. But what does that mean?
What?
I don't want to harm myself, and I don't want to harm other people.
Well, you're mindful. That's for sure.
Well, we can harm ourselves physically, right?
Yep.
Or
So I'm
mentally.
not going to commit suicide. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be a cutter. I'm not going to do those things. I don't want to do that. That's not something that I'm planning on doing. I also don't want to hurt you spiritually,
Right.
mentally,
Sure
physically,
enough,
or spiritually. I don't want to do anything to hurt you, either
Break someone's
physically
spirit.
or mentally. I don't want to. I'm going to. If I know it's going to bother you, see, I picked on her a little bit, but I knew that wasn't going to bother her because I've seen the way that she reacts to stuff. Right? And if I knew that if I said that, see, if I had said that same exact thing to her, it would have just destroyed her. She'd have fallen apart, fell over crying. So that's why I didn't do it. But if you know that something you're going to do is going to be an issue for someone else, should you do it anyway?
No, sir.
No. We should make sure that things we say and the things we do are not going to affect anybody else in a bad way.
That's like what step where it says the 12 steps?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
one about making amends unless it will
Unless-
harm
right.
you or
others. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to look. I'm all about making amends. We need to make amends. Amends are look.
It's a healing
Amends
process.
are more for me than they are for thee, right?
Say
Amends
again,
help
say
me more than they help you. When I come and make amends to you, that may make you feel a little bit better about what happened, but that's going to absolve me of a lot of stuff. Making amends is for me. It's not for the person I'm making amends to. That's why we need to do it. And of course, it does say if it's going to hurt that other person in any way, don't do that. Because I'm working on me, I'm not working on that other person. So if I never make amends to that other person, they're going to be okay. They'll be all right. Okay? So that's not the big deal. The big deal is me doing it.
Right.
So, you notice what happened?
They never thought about it.
Your head turned halfway toward the clock, but you were able to jerk it.
I did.
That's
sir.
awesome.
I'm working on it.
That is awesome. You're doing so well. We are going to take our 15-minute break, and we'll be back about 15, 16 after. That was awesome.
That is growth, doesn't it? I'm growing. She said I'm growing. Growing.
It really is.
I gotta get some things. Thanks. Burning my
Today, seeing we on break, babe. Okay.
Thank you.
Wake up. It's break time.
I ain't sleeping.
I just hold my eyes closed.
She's meditating.
You meditate deeply. Deeply.
Amen.
Yeah.
I knew a guy that every he would fall asleep in class, and the teacher would get him to go, amen.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you wake up.
We were taught that in the military. That's not a bad. I would not mind having that. Well, I don't know, house proper trash, but that's a good little piece of property. I got a bunch of pine trees in it. I like that.
You be making all these snide comments at us. That's what you be doing.
Say that?
You be making all these snide comments at
Snide
us. Yeah. She's ADHD. She can't sit still.
Yeah, she got some. I don't believe in ADHD, but
She can't sit still.
She
Whatever
got
you want to put it under. That's the reason. And I got
this,
4
this
kids.
lady's working on whatever she's working on. This lady here, she already filled it out when you were at not to do it. This lady over here doing her treatment plan. And everybody bought their treatment plan to group.
Well, it doesn't
Well, we
just
have to
refer
keep our
to us, or not like even if we were to work it together, it would still be like our personal experience. So
Yeah. So the fact that you disobey the rules and regulations, that doesn't make you, because it's your personal stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty process. Put that right there. And this is the pen that I gave Jalacia.
I saw that.
Lord. Why'd you change?
I don't know, I feel better in this.
Some people never shut the fuck up.
Oh, CJ.
What's up?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
I'm beside myself.
Why, yo?
Huh?
Why you beside yourself?
Because I need to talk to my grandma before she makes this order. And I've been trying to reach her since yesterday.
Your
And,
phones ain't working.
well, I don't know if they're working now, but they said they were going to come get me and nobody's came yet.
Oh, okay. Lord, help me get through the day.
We have one. So we all learning. You ain't paying attention.
Oh, man.
Anybody been reading my letters?
I don't know. I'm not supposed to be in this class.
was waiting on the coffee. The coffee ready?
Yeah.
Don't spill it.
I knew you were gonna say that. I can't help it. That's what I do.
You having a bad day?
No, I'm just tired. Yeah. I need to talk to somebody, and they're taking forever. I still never found out if my boyfriend got out of jail, which I doubt he did. Charges for 2 days.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My friend just went to jail and it was probably a large amount of dope, so he's probably not getting out for a long time. You think? You can't get out on probation for a big old lump
You
sum.
can. Depends on how many times you've been in trouble. Depends on what county you're in.
I just want to see him again one day, and I'm homeless and I can't go home. You know, and he's probably going to prison.
Yeah.
It's sad. I only got to hang out with him like once.
Yeah.
I wanted to have sex with him.
Huh? Well,
And I didn't get to.
damn it. You're gonna hang out with the man. We didn't get to do that. Oh my goodness. Coffee. Oh, am I proud of you?
A little bit, but it's alright.
Well, I'm very sorry.
Oh well. I don't give a fuck.
Some of us just take more room than others.
These motherfuckers slapping right now.
You know, it's like I just be sitting here and then things that I want to say just come to me. Okay.
Alright.
Oh, what? Good.
You're welcome. I got my bag of poison.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. We've started again, and we're gonna look at a couple of things that's pretty neat. Before we start looking at more on spirituality, we're gonna look at the self-care and how that works with our spirituality. So I know that at South you can't see the board very well, and I apologize for that. But take my word for it when I tell you this is the best rendering that I have ever done, and this one, everyone here is right now a little bit upset because they can't get their cell phones and take pictures.
I'm devastated.
I am devastated. And so it's sad. But what does this represent? There is a person standing here, and the person is smiling. So the person is kind of smiling. Behind, what do we see behind this person?
A bank, a city.
There's a bank.
A church.
There's a plant. This is a church building. This is the market.
Where's the T at?
This is a house. This is her house or his house. Or this is their house. And then what is this?
A corn crop.
Yeah, this is a garden. Whatever the crop is, I can't tell you. I don't know. But it's a garden. What's that all about?
Agriculture.
Agriculture?
Yeah.
It's a city.
It's food.
It is food, not the garden. I'm talking about the whole.
Oh.
What's the whole thing about?
The community.
Survival.
Self-care. I'm going to take care of myself. Now, this person is fairly happy. They kind of got a goofy grin on their face, but there's several reasons for that. This person, yeah.
Does he have a cleft lip?
No, he's smiling.
No, everybody has those things. You have them.
Well, his lip goes up like that. I mean,
No.
it's smiling. I'm not
It's smiling. That's the top of the lip. And okay, I don't know. Could have got slapped as a child or something. Good man. So, what does this tell you? This tells you a few things. This person is connected. There's a community. First off, look. Go to church, right? So they're connected to the community in that way. They work over here at this plant.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So because they work at the plant, they also have some dealings with the bank, right? So they're working at the bank. They also have, since they have some dealings with the bank, they have their own home. So self-care. They also have
When you go to the market, get
enough money to go down to the hillside market when they need to, so they can buy what they need to buy down there. But this person is really self-sufficient. So they also have
food.
a little garden that they're growing, so they can do that. We're growing. We have a little garden. My wife is growing some potatoes. She took some potatoes. She bought some potatoes, pulled them out, and some of them had little eyes on them where they were. So she cut them and stuck them in a pot. Guess what happened? They sprouted. I mean, and potato plants are huge, and so we're going to have some potatoes. Then the other day, she had an onion that did the same thing. So she went and planted it. So she's planting everything. So this person has a little garden out there. So every now and then, and my wife has some of those things we call green onions.
Mm-hmm.
They're not green onions. What are they called?
Chives.
No, chives are when they're taken up and dried out, they become chives. But that's when they're dried out. But when they're green, they're scallops.
Oh.
Yeah, they're called scallops. And then when they're dried out, they're chives. So whatever. So she's growing 3 or 4 different things right now. One of the things we found that we can really grow is more cucumbers. We could just go out to the backyard and save cucumbers and want to pop up. I mean, our land just likes to grow cucumbers and tomatoes. She's got a huge tomato thing. It's just big, and these little Tommy Toad tomatoes, about that big, and they're everywhere. We have to put them in everything. You ever had breakfast cereal with tomatoes in it?
No.
So what's over here?
I don't know.
Well, the side of the thing here. That's the side. No, over here is the pig pen. So we got some. We don't want you to have the pigs that close to the house, right? So they're probably in the neighbor's yard. So we want to make sure that they're not here. So this person is practicing self-care, right? I have a cousin who practices self-care on that level. He's like a survivalist. He's got gardens. He grows all sorts of food. He's got a pond full of So it's that's a hard life. It can be hard. It's much easier to go down the market basket, but
With all the poison on them, like Pop-Tarts.
yeah, because even if you take the package outside, that Pop-Tart package, and you bury that Pop-Tart package in the ground, and you water it, and you put some water and some fertilizer, it won't grow. But you know why it won't grow?
With his paper.
It's what?
No, he means the Pop-Tart itself.
Why won't the Pop-Tart?
Because it's artificial.
Yeah, because it's got all that mess in there, so it can't grow. So if there's anybody in here that's going to go out and plant Pop-Tart bags, we need to talk extra. All right, look. Everybody should have got a self-care thing. You need one? Well, come. We have plenty more. Anybody else need a self-care packet? There's 3 sheets to it, so it's rather long, but we're going to go over here real quickly. We're not going to spend the rest of the day on it, or we might. I don't know. Although, I would tell you, one of the things we've already learned, what's one thing we've already learned from the self-care packet? That there are people, not everybody, it's an outlier type of thing, but there are people who have issues following instructions when it comes to this. Because when we first handed them out, I said, please, Don't fill it out yet. Please don't fill it out yet. Don't fill this. Don't fill this. And then there was some. We're not going to point out who it was. We're not going to say who did it, but somebody filled it all the way out. And then was looking for other people's stuff so she could fill theirs out too. But she couldn't reach it. So
It was me. I did it.
Come on.
Self-care activities are the things you do to maintain good health and improve well-being. Here's the deal. You can see in that first statement that this is connected to my spirituality. It's connected to me having a spiritual component in my life. Because having a spiritual component in my life improves my health and improves my well-being. Correct?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Right. So if you're filling it out now, that's fine. You're just not going to get credit for the class because you did not follow instructions. We've had somebody sleeping, not getting credit for the class. We got somebody else fill out their stuff ahead, not getting credit for it. All of that. That don't matter to me. I'm just that kind of thing. She was just resting her eyes.
She was meditating.
She was resting her eyes. She was resting her eyes and meditating. The rest of her body was here in person and doing what it's supposed to do. Anyway, so self-care can do all of those things. You'll find that many of these activities are things you already do as a part of your normal routine. And if you're not doing them as a part of your normal routine, what's that tell you?
You're not practicing self-care?
You're not practicing self-care, and your normal routine is outside the scope of personal self-care. And you need to do something about it. So in this assessment, you're going to think about how frequently or how well you're performing different self-care activities. The goal of this assessment is to help you learn about your self-care needs by spotting patterns, recognizing areas of your life that need more attention. Right? Look, and we need to, it's important for us to know some of the places where we're not practicing good self-care. Why is that?
So we can work on it?
So we can work on that. And here's the deal. Our self-care got really neglected when we were on our drugs. When we were using, when I was using, I wasn't eating, right? When I was using, I wasn't sleeping correctly. When I was using, I certainly wasn't exercising. I certainly wasn't keeping myself as clean as myself ought to be. Yeah, when I was sleeping under a house and all of that stuff, I wasn't doing the things that I was supposed to do to take care of myself, right?
Yeah.
So
is that like one of those things outside that everybody didn't do every single one of those?
No, I don't think. Look, I don't think that everybody's going to do every single one of them, but we need to know that where we are in that place of self-care, right? We need to know where we are in that. So there are some things here we need to get a hold of and go on. So the goal of this assessment is to learn about our needs, spot patterns, recognizing areas that you might need to get more attention going on. There are no right or wrong answers. Who are you going to turn this into?
Nobody.
Ourselves.
Yeah, you turn them into yourself. That's why it says a self-care. It should say self-care, self-assessment. Because we are self-assessing where we need to make minor movements on our self-care, right? So there's no right or wrong answers. There may be activities that you have no interest in, like group. You may not have any interest in group. You may not have any interest in a lot of these things. There may be activities that you have no interest in, and other activities may not be included. There may be something that we missed a little bit. The list is not comprehensive. We're not going, look, you cannot make, when it comes to self-care, you cannot make a comprehensive list because you would have to list everything in the world. We can't do that. This is what's called a representative list. It represents all of those needs that we have. But it serves as a starting point to you start thinking about your self-care needs. As we go through it and you mark it, those of you who have already finished your thing, just put yourself out because you don't have to discuss it because you've already decided all of that stuff. So there are some things here that we want to start. Look, number one says I do this poorly. There are some things on this list that still I do poorly. Number two, well, number 1, 2, it says I do this rarely or not at all. I either do it poorly or rarely or not at all. Number 2, I do this okay. I'm all right with it, or I do this sometime. Number 3 is I do this well. I do this often. And the little star out at the end says I would like to improve on this. I'd like to do this better. I would like to do this more frequently. So number 1 says, look, I eat healthy food. I'm going to put for myself personally. I'm going to say a 1. And maybe
all that preaching you doing and you barely do it.
All that preaching on Pop-Tarts.
yeah, all that preaching on Pop-Tart. But here's the deal. Look, you all do exactly the same thing as us. We know what we should do, but we don't do it. Right?
Sorry.
We know what we should do. We sat in here, and I will guarantee you. Well, I'm not going to guarantee you. Let me give it a shot. How many people want to be healthy? Yeah, everybody in here. Everybody in here wants to be healthy, right? Right. We'll all say that. We'll all say that every time. If I want to be healthy, I want to be better. I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to smell better. I want to be better. And yet, when it gets close to time for break, there's going to be, look, I already tell you, there are going to be 3 people with cigarettes already out. Already out. So I don't want to feel so much, I don't want to feel better so much that I'll stop smoking.
But we're on eating.
I don't want to feel better so much that I'll stop eating Pop-Tart. I don't want to feel better.
I like Pop-Tarts.
I like Pop-Tarts.
Your husband.
It says eat healthy food. It don't say nothing about putting so many temples. It says something about eating healthy food.
Pop-Tarts ain't healthy.
No, they're not. So
broccoli.
I'm going to say if there is a possibility that I could be at a 2 because I really do try. Like today, I'm going to have some broccoli and some stuff like that for lunch and stuff. Ma'am?
Is it out of your garden?
No, it's not out of my garden. We can't grow those things. Yes, ma'am.
So, like the smoking of the cigarettes and stuff, that comes kind of under the overall physical self-care. If you go out there and smoke when break time comes, then you're physically not self-care.
Yeah. We're going to get there.
Well, I'm just saying,
yeah,
we're on eating healthy food, not smoking.
Anyways,
you're
awesome, Dr. Garner.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Look, number 2, and we almost did. I said we wasn't going to finish out the day on this, but we might because took us 13 minutes to get past number 1. But number 2 says I take care of personal hygiene. I'm gonna say that I do that very well.
Yes.
I do this often.
Yes.
I take showers. I wash things that need to be washed. I use. Don't sweat stuff under both arms. Yeah, and I have some don't stink stuff that I put on. Well, because I noticed a long time ago that when I don't use the underarm deodorant under both arms, one arm stinks for some reason.
Yeah.
So I started using it under both of it. Exercise. Number 3 is exercise. Look, I will tell you this, and I've said this a ton of times. None of us do that well enough. I'm going to put a star under that one. I want to improve on that. Yeah, I do exercise. I go 3 times a week. Tomorrow's my next day. That's going to be for arm days. Tomorrow I go and work my triceps and biceps. But I want to start going every day. I belong to the gym over here, but I've never been. Went in there and joined the gym, never been.
Shouldn't you want to put a star by everything though?
Ma'am?
I mean, I said, shouldn't you want to put a star by everything?
No, I don't
that
want to
you're
put a star by everything, but I want a star by exercising.
Yeah.
And personal care of that one. That's a 3 for me because I do that
Like
fairly
the
well.
eating healthy and
Say it again.
like the eating healthy and stuff like that.
Eating healthy, I want to improve on that.
Yeah.
So I would probably. That's a good point. Instead of a 2, I'm probably a star on that. So here's the deal. I wear clothes that help me feel good about myself.
I put a 2 on that.
It's a 2.
Yeah.
I don't look. I'm going to share with you. I really don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I wear clothes. You know.
I don't come out naked.
I don't come to work naked or anything like that. But yeah, I know that's probably more important to other people. Probably more important to ladies than it is to me. But I do wear clothes that I feel like is office casual. Same clothes I wear to church, I wear here. Office casual is what it's called. So I would say that I do that well. I don't need to improve on that. I'm not going to buy it. Eating regularly.
I'll definitely do that.
I do that well.
Yeah, y'all have 3, maybe 4 meals while you're doing group.
Yeah.
It's the only place I've ever worked where that was allowed. Because it is a distraction to you and to the group and to the facilitator and to everybody. For you to have, 19 people are eating and you're nice people, so you're always sharing it with everybody else and all. So it's very disruptive. This company, and I've been in this business for 25 years doing this. I was a counselor for 30 years before that doing other stuff. This is the only place I've ever been where you could have a snacking group. And that shows you how amazing and different this program is. Yeah, it's different. This program is. Look, I've been in 15 different programs. I'm going to tell you, this program is not like any other program I've ever been in.
They give you Pop-Tarts here.
Is that a bad thing or a good
I've
thing?
never got Pop-Tarts in
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. It's about time because look, when somebody has relapsed 5 times, come back to the same program 7 times, something ain't working.
Yeah.
Something ain't working. Now, it's not the program's fault. It's not the individual's fault. It's the disease's fault. But at some point, something ought to snap. Something ought to change.
Yes, sir.
And so, if everything, so we need to.
Maybe if they can have.
So, eating regularly. I want to improve on that. I want to improve on that. I do eat regularly. But, we ought to be eating the way that you're supposed to be eating is breakfast, lunch, and then an evening meal, and then have a snack in between those. You should be, bodybuilders eat 10 or 20 meals a day. They eat smaller meals, but they eat a lot of meals all day long. It keeps your metabolism working and running all the time. And that's the way God meant for us to do it, eat all the time. But we eat a breakfast, and then we'll eat a lunch, and then we'll eat a big supper. And then we'll go to bed and go fat.
And go fat.
And go fat. That's what that does. When you eat a big supper, we have it backwards. You ought to have a big breakfast. Like if y'all ever had full English breakfast, you can't eat it. You cannot eat it. First thing I did when I got to England, I said, I want one of them. I was at a bed and breakfast. I said, I want one of them full English. Okay. She brought me, it's just like a platter of stuff sat there. And I sat there for about an hour trying to eat that. You can't eat all that. Cannot eat it. So the next day I said, I'll just have this. I didn't have it. I won't ever order that. That's just too much. But we should have a big breakfast, and we should have a fair lunch, and then we should have a very small evening meal. But we do it backwards. So I need to eat more regularly. Participate in fun activities, walking, swimming, dancing, sports.
I would like to
I
do
can't
that more.
swim.
You can't swim? Who
I
can
can
swim?
swim.
You can't swim?
I can swim.
I'm a water safety instructor. I'll show you how.
Oh yeah, I can teach you. I can teach you to swim in about 20 minutes. Swimming is the
He's
easiest
gonna
thing
push
in
it
the world.
in.
Yeah, just
Like they do babies. Throw them in.
I
I'm
was
being
in-
serious. I'll teach you how to swim.
That's right.
Push
You're
it
gonna
Alright.
float naturally.
Alright, let's-
Somebody's getting beat up.
All right, so let's get past the swimming stuff. If you can't swim, you need to learn to swim.
It is.
I did notice that there was one lady walking back and forth out in the front, walking around the building and all. Now there were three when I went. So that's a good trend. We need to all be. We have a nice place out here to walk around.
Well, we
Y'all
just
can
got
walk
grass.
around and around and around.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the grass hasn't been mowed, is that a good reason not to walk around the building?
Walk in the parking lot.
Well, it might be in Texas. There are snakes.
There's snakes out there. There might be alligators. There could be. Ain't no. I think Sasquatch could live out behind the AC.
Oh,
Yeah.
it might happen.
So here's the deal. And y'all take this the way that it's meant. There's always a good excuse for bad behavior. Whatever your bad
I am
behavior,
in pretty good physical health. I do.
don't be defensive.
Yeah.
So participate in fun activities. Walking, swimming, dancing is really good exercise.
Yeah.
That's really good exercise. All sorts of sports. If you're football, baseball, basketball, all of those things are good. But doing something now in that, where are you? I don't do that as well as I'd like to. So I'm probably a 2 on that. I'm okay, yes, but I want to improve on that. So get enough sleep.
I do that well.
Yes,
I don't.
Yeah, some of you get plenty of sleep, I know for a fact.
Yeah.
A couple hours every day in here, whatever you do in there, you get enough sleep. Sometimes I get enough sleep, sometimes I don't get enough sleep, so I need to improve on that. Go to preventative medical appointments. Do we do our teeth cleanings? Do we do checkups?
Oh, you have to.
I need to approve on that.
You have to.
That's a good thing. She was saying we have to in here.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. What is that doing? Why do you have to? Why do you have to in here?
To make sure you're not sick.
Say it again?
To make sure you don't get sick.
Well, that's part of
Like
it.
COVID
It's
stuff.
like a motor checking the oil in.
Yeah.
Like
All of that. Yeah, all of that is good.
Keeps.
The deal is to try to get us into the habit of doing it for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh,
When we
ourselves
leave
accountable.
from here, there's no one here going home with you.
Nope.
We are going to check on you in about 6 months.
Is that
3 to 6 months. We're going to call you up and say, how you doing? And if you're so, then we'll know you need to come back.
Yeah.
But if you're still sober after 6 months, after 3 months, we want to know that. We're going to track your progress. But we're not coming home with you to make sure you keep your appointments.
No, and I
So
think
we're
y'all-
trying to get you to the place where you understand, I need to do this for myself.
Right.
Because Chastity's not going to go with you. She
Yeah.
just
I'm
refused.
thinking that. I'm not a doctor type person. I know I'm good.
Yeah. So rest when we're sick.
Yeah, I do it.
I'm a number 1 on that.
I don't know.
I'll tell you, I'm the first one. If I get ill, I'm the first one to go to the doctor. I've had the same doctor for about 20 years, 25 years. I'm going to go see her. I know she gets sick of me coming. But when I don't feel right, I don't feel right. So I'm going to go. But also, if she says you can still work, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to be out here. Because I will tell you this. While we're doing this, y'all notice that they come and they get somebody every now and then? What are they doing?
Individual.
Yeah, they're doing all sorts of work that has to be done and all of that stuff. So what we're doing in this group is giving the counselors the opportunity to do what they need to do, right? And so that's a good thing. So I want to be here in my place so that they can do what they need to do instead of have to come in here and take my place.
Yeah.
So I have an issue resting. And then, when I get home, I have to do nighttime things, which means I have to do this and I have to do, because my wife can't do them. And so I have stuff to do there. And so I'm not resting when I'm sick enough. I need to do that. Overall physical self-care. What does that mean? I need to improve on that. That means I'm not eating, sleeping, or drinking. I don't drink nearly enough water. Y'all know that this thing is full of water.
No, sir.
Okay.
It's been strained through coffee, but it's water. I drink way too much coffee and I don't drink enough water and stuff like that.
There's water
I
in
am, you know,
Dr.
it's funny you said that because almost every time that I go and they take blood and everything, they tell me, you know, you're dehydrated. What do you mean? You don't drink enough water. I drank some water a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
But
water in Dr. Pepper.
yeah, there's water in Dr. Pepper. I don't drink soda. Dang.
It's just
God.
funny.
Dang God, you know, I don't smoke, don't drink. I'm almost perfect.
Uh-huh.
So here's some psychological stuff we need to do, and I'm going to tell you this. I need to improve on the very firstest one of them. Says take time off from work, school, or other obligations. We need to get at a place where we have no pressure on us today. You know, when I get out of here today, I'm going to go home, pick my wife up, go to church. And I have to teach. I'm on Facebook teaching to hundreds and hundreds of people and all that kind of stuff, which I love. It's fantastic. I love it. However, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a lot. If you're working every day, 5 days a week, and then you're pastoring a church and all of that, you need to be able to take some time and not worry about anything.
What do you teach, if you don't mind me asking?
What do I teach? Teach the Bible. Well,
I mean,
tonight, I don't know if you were here when we said it. You might not have been. Tonight I'm teaching out of Acts, the 3rd chapter of Acts, and we're going to finish up Acts starting in 13 or 12 and 12, 13 and go all the way to the end of that
That's a long book.
chapter. It's a long, yeah, it's pretty long. I'm not finished the whole book. I'm finished that chapter.
I'm talking about the book of Acts.
Yeah, book of Acts is pretty long. But I'm just going to finish chapter 3 tonight,
Okay.
not the whole book. So I need to be able to take them. So in October, we do that almost every October. We take 2 weeks and we go away. What happens if we get back earlier than the 2 weeks?
You relax at home?
I put my trailer up in the little trailer keeping place, and I sit down on my thing and I turn the TV on. Yeah, I do. And if I need some work to do outside, usually the grass is not growing so fast and all of that stuff. So, but I don't do that enough. I think it's a good idea to take a Friday off every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
take
I need to do that. Participate in hobbies.
Sorry.
I need to participate in hobbies. Y'all participate in hobbies?
Yeah.
Yes,
Some of you do. I know. I can guarantee you. There was a lady here who her hobby was to do puzzles. I know that was her hobby because she did 12 of them while she was in this group.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we do some hobbies. We have some. I have a hobby, but I can't participate in it right now.
Flying.
Yeah, you can't fly when you're using
Your hands.
insulin. And I'm at this point having to use 2 different types of insulin. So I can't fly.
Really?
I'm working at getting off of them. So that's going to come too. All right, so we need to participate. How hard is it to get a hobby?
Not hard.
Not hard.
Figure out something you like to do and do that. So in that, I would like to improve on that. I'm a star on that one because I want to improve in my participation in my hobby. Getting away from distractions.
Yeah, I'm already doing there.
Your phone,
I'm bored.
your email, people texting you. Every now and then we need to practice some solitude. Every now and then we need to get away from that. One of the greatest things that's happened, I think, here lately, most of the school systems are taking away the kids' cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that. You know, you got a 12-year-old boy sitting in class on his phone.
We weren't allowed out.
You know what's sad though is if we allowed you to have you would be doing it too.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Everybody in here. We cannot not get on our phone. That is a terrible distraction from us getting to a place of spirituality.
Yeah.
So we need to get out. I know you can, but everybody else can't. So.
I'm always in my yard working. I can't have my phone out. I mean, it's the truth. I'm not.
Oh, well, no. I didn't say you weren't telling the truth, but
I'm one of those, what do they call it?
You're that outlier. Yeah. Because I'm going to guarantee you that I go to the restaurant and there's 4 people sitting at this table, all 4 of them on their phone.
Yep.
Yeah, and they may be texting each other.
Probably.
That's the only way they know to communicate. I think it's going to be a great big deal. You're going to notice some of those. Our test scores now in the United States are below. You know, we're way down there. We're number 50 on a lot of things. You know, other places, Zaire is better than us in geography. And you know what? We don't even know where Zaire is.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that even a place?
Yes, it's a place.
It is.
See, that's what I said. We're number 50. You know, the people in Zaire, they know where the U.S. is. We don't. So it's a real big distraction. So I think, 5 years from now, we're going to see those test scores going up a
Well,
little
a lot of
bit.
it has to do with COVID and kids being taught at home too. And stuff like that.
On their devices.
Yeah, I think all those devices should be thrown away. All right, here's the other thing. Learn new things unrelated to school or work.
I need to do that more.
We do that now. I hate to tell you this. I've already told you all this about 9 times, but I hate to bring it back up because we just talked about getting away from our devices.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. That's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse as time goes by. But there is a school called Allison that you can go to for absolutely no charge, and you can learn all sorts of stuff: psychology, math, English.
Is it on your phone?
You
What's the
can.
name?
It's called Allison. It comes from England. It's ALISON.com. Allison.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome. Now, the deal is that you can get certificates for it or you can get diplomas for it. The diplomas take 3 times as long as that certificate. The diploma you can put on your resume. Yeah. Say, look what I have. And it can be helpful for you getting a job. But the way that Allison makes their money is if you want the certificate, you have to pay for it. And it's only $10, $5, whatever it is. If you want the diploma, you have to pay for it, and it's probably $200 or $300.
No.
But
Classes? That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the classes themselves are free.
The classes themselves are free. I did one the other day on English. Went through it. I really wanted to know. I wanted to get a refresher on punctuation.
Yeah.
And so I just went to the punctuation part, and it taught me the punctuation. And so, and then, I shut it down and said, okay, yes, ma'am.
Does it teach you like trades and stuff like that, or is it basically like?
Well, I looked up one the other day that was motorcycle mechanics. So yeah.
No,
That's a trade.
Carpentry.
Mechanic. I don't know. And it could, and it gives you a whole list. It says when you open it up, it says, what do you want to study today? And you can put carpentry in there.
And this is free?
And do it. It's free.
I want to learn how to do windows.
ALISON.
ALISON.com.
I got it.
Okay, do that. And
Yes.
look, it's an amazing thing. I found it many years ago and been dealing with it ever since. And they will send you a thing to your email. If you don't finish a course, they'll send you a thing to your email and say, hey, won't you finish your course?
Yeah.
But they'll only do it once or twice and they'll leave you alone. All right, so I need to learn how to do express my feelings in a healthy way. Talking, creating art, journaling. I need to express my feelings in a healthy way. I need to improve on that a little bit. There was somebody in the group. I don't know who it was. We won't try to point anybody out. So I don't know who it was, but she said, "Boy, you just snide. That's what you are, snide. You making on the snide. Just commenting on snide like everything." Okay. And so who's that guy that was on the cartoon? Snidely Whiplash. So I'm like Snidely Whiplash. So, okay, I need to be able to express, sometimes when you get a little frustrated or something, and I do sometimes, and I will make a little snide remark. She's absolutely correct. And I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that, but sometimes I need to watch that a little bit. So I need to be better at that. And I think that we all need to be better at that. What time is it? About 10 minutes till. See, she did it for you this time. So recognize my own strengths and achievements. Do we have any strengths, you think?
Yep. Yes.
Do we have any achievements?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody in here does. So we need to be willing to recognize the fact that we do have some of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that important?
Because it's,
Why is that important?
it makes us feel better.
Makes us feel better about ourselves, builds our self-esteem, and this is one of the things that self-care is all about: building my self-esteem, my feelings about myself. So I look, I think I'm pretty good at that. You know, I know what I can do, and I know what I know, and I'm a confident person. So I feel like and go on vacation or day trip.
In October.
In October, I'm going on vacation. One of the places that I fall down real hard on is doing the day trip thing.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to take a weekend and just go off.
Road trip.
Golf.
Yeah, just
go golf.
take a road trip.
I think you could go off, not golf.
So I'm probably on a star at that. Do something. The next one is do something comforting. Rewatch a movie, take a long bath, do something that's comforting. How do we figure out what's comforting?
It makes you feel good.
Something that makes you feel better about you. Something that's comforting to you. You know, you can always look and see, well, what makes you feel better? What's more comforting to you? But that may not work for you. So they said, well, rewatch a movie. Okay, my wife rewatches NCIS over and over and
I love it.
over.
I love it.
I could do that.
They're
I watch
wild.
Grey's Anatomy. Like,
They're wild.
it tells you
Earth.
how to get into Grey's Anatomy.
Why on earth would you do
It
something?
tells you how to
Because what if you miss something the first 10 times?
So if
you
you
need to
miss
watch it
something.
11, you know?
No, she just thinks he's attractive, that's all.
That's it. She told me, well, he's so cute.
He is.
So do something comforting. Look, I'm probably on I need to improve on that because I will tell you this. I'm working all the time. I have 8 acres. It's not a large place, but it always demands some attention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to dig a new pond and all of that stuff. And it's always something. So when you get out of here, you got to go there and you got to do all that.
Get
You do all your mowing?
Get some ducks.
I do. I do at this point in time, and I'm getting tired of it. But
Right?
find reasons to laugh.
Yeah, we do that pretty good.
Yeah, we do
Yeah,
that.
some of you guys do that pretty well. I usually find some reasons to laugh. The thing about it is, if you don't, you're going to be in a bad place.
Yeah.
We need to release emotions, and we need to be happy people. And healthy people are happy people.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? I need to get
Unhealthy people are unhappy.
unhealthy people are unhappy. It's hard for me to be up when I'm down.
Yeah.
You know, when my body's not feeling good, my brain's not feeling good. And I can't be good to you when I can't be good to me.
Amen.
That's why he blew everybody's mind when Robert Williams committed suicide because he's one of the funniest people in the whole wide world. And on the outside, he's just laughing.
Yeah, but that's what you gotta watch. The people that are the people that are the happiest are usually the most depressed.
It can
Because
be.
they don't want anybody to feel the way that they feel.
I need to talk about my problem.
Yes.
Yeah. I suffer from a lot of stuff. I have a little bit of low self-esteem. I suffer from perfectionism.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think it bothers me so badly when people don't pay attention in groups?
Because
Not
it's
your
your time.
time.
Disrespect, number one, but the second reason would be
Wasting your time. Oh, give me a poplar.
All of those things are true, but you know the real deal is that if somebody's not paying attention or stuff like that, it kind of hurts my feeling because I've studied long and I've got all this stuff together and I come in and that touches the low self-esteem thing.
Yeah.
And the perfectionism. See, perfectionism is a diagnosis and it's not a good one. Because if you're a perfectionist, you'll lie, cheat, steal to make sure nobody knows you made a mistake. So I have to work through all of that. And I have to let people know if I make a mistake, I have to go and tell somebody. That's why I meet with my boss. And I meet with my boss not to ask her questions or anything, but to let her know I screwed this up. Because that's part of my getting well. is to let them know that. So that's where that's why that's not perfect, and you're supposed to be coming to groove, not to come in here and have a conversation, not to so all of those things. So that's my issue. That's not your issue, right? Y'all don't agree?
Yeah.
No, we agree.
Yeah, it's my problem. Yeah, it's my issue, and it's not yours. So I need to talk about my problem. Now, I will tell you this, that I'm a 3 on that. Because being a counselor, having gone and gotten all of this education and all of that kind of stuff in counseling and all of that kind of stuff, the one thing I learned is I'm just as sick as my secret.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't learn that in college. Where did I learn that?
In a class. In a class.
I'm only as sick as my secrets. Where did I learn that?
Class.
As your what?
I'm only as sick as my secrets.
Oh, yeah.
I learned it in AA.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's in the big book.
Well, I didn't learn very much yesterday.
It's in the big book.
And I've never even read it, none of that.
So,
You're only as sick as your
only as sick as your secrets. Look it up. So I need to talk about my problems, and so I don't have any secrets. Is that true? No, of course it's not true. I have lots of secrets. Overall psychological and emotional self-care. I need some improvement in that. Real quick. Spend time with people who I like. Call or write to friends. We're not going to get this done. So we'll hold off on that. We'll do that maybe tomorrow. So anyway, questions, comments, or snide remarks?
Thank you.
Let me ask you this question. Did we meet our goal?
Yes.
I think we learned a little bit. Somebody didn't. She wasn't in the group. She's been running out of the group 15 times. So she didn't learn anything. But the rest of us, I think we did get to the place where we learned a little bit more about our spirituality. And self-care. All right, I want to thank you. I want to push you up. Look, there was a lot of people in the class did very well. Yes, ma'am.
On some of these, can you have like 2 answers?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're human beings.